inability to this particular performance at the ongoing Under 23 Africa Cup of Nations, and of course the inability to qualify for the Under 17 World Cup. Question is this the reality of the state of development of our football, or it just happens to be some coincidence of some sort? This is the show this afternoon. For those of you who are following us on social media and on our various handles, you'd realize that we have two topics for today. Now, I've decided to hold one of the topics because we need to get one major side of it, and that is the suspension of season promoter Alex Ntiamwa, the man who brought the whole of Ghana the big one between Bukum Banku and Ayite Powers, which recorded a big attendance at the Accra Stadium in May of the year 2014. Well, he has been given a 2-year ban by the Abraham Kote Nikwe-led Ghana Boxing Authority. Now, question is this a true punishment? One that is deserved? One that is in consonance with the rules? Or just something that is born out of vindictiveness? Well, these are questions we'll be answering on a special edition that will bring you on the Joy News channel during the week. Now, reason why I've decided to hold that topic is that one party was ready to speak, but the other was not ready to engage here in the studio. So because of that, we will hold the boxing topic that you see on our poster and go ahead with a discussion of our football topic for this afternoon here on the Joy Sports Link. My name is Nathaniel Attoh. I must say that it's always a rewarding experience having to share your company at this time every other Saturday. Let's get into the business, but before that, I'd like to remind you that a lot of things have happened. We'll bring you some of the highlights of that game that Ghana was unable to win against Guinea. And then after that, we'll take a major reaction from the head coach of the side, Ibrahim Tanko, on how the performance went. After that, I will read messages that were placed on my wall after I asked this very question that I've asked you today. It's interesting, some of the responses that I got. All of those are here on Joy, on the Joy Sports Link. Do remember that our WhatsApp line is very active. It's 055 1111997. 055 1111997. So in terms of those who are contributing to the show, we're looking at someone who has played for the Black Stars at the youth level, and also at the senior level. At the senior level, he played at the FIFA World Cup, and he has also played at the youth level, where he featured in that big side that eventually became runners-up at the World Youth Championship at the expense, World Youth Championship, I beg your pardon, and this was after they lost to Argentina, which at the time had the likes of Saviola. Now, this man is now the head scout of the Right to Dream Academy. Derek Boateng will be my guest. Well, there is a former Black Stars player who is senior to him and is now a CAF License A coach. One of the finest strikers we have seen in 3 decades in this country. Played in the Ghana Premier League, played his football in Europe, and also paid his dues to the Black Stars. Most importantly, for this conversation, what makes him very well aligned is the fact that he is an Olympian. He played in the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games for the Black Meteors. He will also bring his thoughts to the conversation. Nanajiman is a coach and an analyst. He'll be joining us as well with his thoughts. And also, Philip Sichufe Achrim will be joining us as the fan who goes up and about, spends money to go and watch these tournaments, and also has been, paying close attention to the happenings within the camp. I know you are boiling with loads and loads of thoughts, to pour your hearts out. Let's start pouring our hearts out on our WhatsApp platform and on our various platforms. Thank you very much for joining us for this particular edition of the show. We're just asking about the state of our football and whether the performances that have been recorded over the course of time at the international level are a reflection of what is happening in terms of our state of development, or it's just probably some coincidence. Let's have your thoughts here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. Welcome to the show.
Being shown there down the left-hand side with the Guibu and I think it was Madiu Keita. Mori Keita, the goalkeeper, brings the ball forward, but Rather mishits that. Maybe an opportunity here for Ghana if he doesn't get back in goal quickly, and a slip from the defender as well. It's a 3-on-2 here for Ghana. Nice one-touch passing, and there's the opener out of nothing. A mistake in midfield, a slip from the defender, and Emmanuel Yeboah has notched his third goal of the tournament. In fact, his third goal in 2 games. Their tournament. Whipped in, headed away. On the volley! Oh, what a strike! Guinea back on level terms. And what a strike! 30 yards out on the volley. And he's drilled it into the corner.
It's a very, very painful draw to swallow. After leading 1-0 in the halftime and then come back to concede such a goal is a very, very bitter. Yeah, but I mean, that's football. We prepare ourselves very well to win the game, but at the end we have to go with the draw, which is very, very painful for us. We prepare very well to get the 3 points to qualify, and after scoring the first goal in the first half. Yeah, I can say what happened the last games, repeat himself, the lack of concentration is what caused us to concede the goal. So, like I said, it's very, very painful.
Very painful defeat indeed. The words of Coach Ibrahim Tanko. Do remember that Ibrahim Tanko has played at that level, played at the Black Stars level as well. Also coached as an assistant to the Cameroonian national team. Coached in the Ghana Premier League. And so he's got the experience. What went wrong? Where do we identify as the problem spot so we can start offering solutions? Send your thoughts to 055-1111997. Still here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Nathaniel Attoh, and the rest of the Joy Sports team. Our guests are ready for this big conversation. I'm sure you are too. The reason why you'd have to, get your keypad, get ready. Tell us, where you also stand regarding the state of our football. Is it purely because of the performance? Are you using that as the yardstick? It's just some coincidence. It just happens that we're just losing out on, excellence at this level. What is it? You tell us. But you know something? The Vodafone demo promo is finally here. Receive up to 20% of your money back in your Vodafone cash wallet when you recharge with 5 Ghana cedis or more. Not a dim. So here's 2 more reasons to keep your conversations going with the demo promotion. You can even send credit to a friend, and they too will receive up to 20% instant cash. Oh, isn't that cool? Recharge with 5 Ghana cedis or more from your preferred short code. In your Vodafone cash wallet, credit transfer, my Vodafone app, or other preferred payment platforms. And the higher you recharge, the more you get back. Keep reloading in the demo promotion and win with Vodafone. Vodafone, further together. Wow, this one is always my favorite. The Habitat Fair is back again. Now, the 2023 edition of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair starts with the first clinic as follows. It's Friday, July 7th to July 9, 2023, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. And the venue is the Achimoto Mall. Time is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. This year's exhibition is under the theme Home Ownership, Affordability, Comfort or Luxury. Visit the clinic and engage the providers in the housing value chain for all your housing needs, be it financing, land acquisition, rent to own, outright purchase, roofing, lights, electronic appliances, home security, or home furnishing. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is your one-stop shop for everything housing. For exhibition, please call 0540-110-389 or 0244-260-653. There will be daily giveaways by the sponsors and visitors to the fair. And of course, these sponsors will give out, stuff to visitors to the fair. Now, the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2023 is powered by the planned city extension projects from Cities and Habitats and sponsored by Elegant Homes and General Construction Limited, where quality meets value. DBS Roofing, your roof expert. Syntex Tanks, and you're strong, and you're tough. And the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, affordability, comfort, and luxury.
Download exclusives from hitsgh.com.
Sure, just before we get the thoughts from our guests. Three strong gentlemen, ex-Ghana international, and now a senior scout. Derek Boateng is there. Nana Jiman is on as well. And Philip Sicho Fairtrim, Joy Sports analyst, is also here. He will be playing the role of the fan, getting us to understand you who are at the receiving end of all of this. Alrighty, so let's quickly get into the conversations now. This is these are responses that I got on my wall after asking the question we've put out. Now, Gloria Edu says the players are not to be blamed, but rather the people managing the affairs of the GFA. Francisco K. Amuzu says Keto Kreku, he makes a comment there. I'm not able to add that one. So let's go to the next one. Paki Mensa says it's obvious Minnow countries have improved while Ghana football has retrogressed and sunk. Theodore Mauli Viwato says there is nothing practical about football development in Ghana. Absolutely nothing. When your national stadium is in such a mess, you see yourself as a football nation. Okay, now, Sana Atoklo, my senior colleague, has sent this one. Sana Atoklo, formerly of Joy FM, says, Nathaniel, it is a reflection of how standards have fallen, courtesy the administrators of the game. We can assemble the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, Haaland, and we still won't make any impact. We need a total clearing out and stoppage of the football people running the game. All right. Now, there's this other one that is coming from Nana Ya Krantima Ampofo. It is not a coincidence, she says. Our game is a total mess. Look at the GPL. Where is the excitement, the passion, and determination? And the issue is not with the players, the whole system of football in Ghana. In fact, I want Kurt Kweku to point one achievement since he became president, and he should exclude qualifying to the World Cup because we have done that on a couple of occasions. Plus, we didn't qualify from the group stages. Gavo Charles says, we need a 7-year sports development plan. I, however, believe that Ghana football will never recover again due to the greed of administrators. It is over for Ghana in the foreseeable future, and we have destroyed everything in this country: education, sports, religion, politics, transportation, agriculture, etc. We indeed are racing backwards. Now, Ike Newton has sent this one. He says, what could be working well for the Senegalese FA and their football fraternity? A lot of retrospection is needed here. Now, Innocent Dabie says, do we care? The corruption has swallowed up Ghana. It's better we don't go far. Julian Millsbill in the United States sends this one. He says, take a sip of cold drink and replay the games of our national teams throughout qualifiers and friendlies in the past 5 years. Now, if that is too elaborate of a scope, narrow it down to the qualifiers of the Black Stars, pre-AFCON and the World Cup. You'd observe a jaundiced and intractable style of play that kept rearing its head. We kept playing ostrich until the disgrace after another. The philosophy of selecting a few template players and then populating the team with also runs add up to the numbers and is eroding our signature type of play. When the fundamentals of football selection are weak, a credible and carbonated team will expose us on any day. Football has become a scientific toy, and any nation that employs the scientific tools is now on a sound trajectory. Festus Oponjechi says a reflection of how our football has deteriorated. If care is not taken, we may not even qualify for the AFCON. Now, there's another one here from Kofi Frempa. Now, Kofi Frempa is one of the many people who have sent messages here. Kofi Frempa says, Nathaniel Attoh, the rate at which our FA and regional FAs are being polarized has cost us so much. Too many hypocrites, power-drunk individuals handling our game. Number 3, our football lacks direction and foresight because the FA hasn't got any aim, ambition, and goal but want to make themselves wealthy. Number 4, our scouting to the various national teams has been based on who knows who syndrome, and just a few journalists have spoken ill about it. Number 5, our players are playing active football far and below their natural age. And you can't cheat nature. Look at what is happening to the 2009 under-20 squad. Apart from Andre Ayew, where are the rest? Nowhere to be found. Number 6, until our ex-footballers take charge of affairs, things will remain the way they are and will repeat the same issue. Tell Keto Kweku to become the FA president. No. Okay. Let me go over this one again. He says that it doesn't mean Keto Kweku should own a team, and he will be mentioned as one of the worst FA presidents in our history. Go back and play his acceptance address when he was voted as president, and you will get to know the person handling our football. Okay, so I'll be doing some more as we go along. I think it's a good time to now bring in our guests who are joining us virtually. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Derek Boateng. Thank you so much, Nana Jiman. And thank you so much, Philip Sijufachrim, for joining us this afternoon. It's good to have you. Let me begin, especially because we've had some of our respondents talk about our scouting and having our ex-footballers take charge of affairs. Let me begin with Derek Boateng. Derek, you saw the games being played. You were at the African Under-17 tournament recently, and you were on this show. We interviewed you from the tournament venue, and you had a few thoughts. Has this cemented those thoughts about the way our football is going, Derek?
First of all, I think yesterday I was watching the game, and it's really, really sad, watching the game and see how the boys are playing. Zero confidence. Body language is really, really poor, approaching the game, and everything is. Because for me, the reason why I'm saying that is like I came from the youth side, from under 17 to 20. I made my name from under 20 and 23, and I know how it feels like to play in that tournament and to watch our boys playing yesterday. For me, I see that if you look at our players, sometimes where the players are coming from are really, really important, you understand? Because if you check the leagues that they are playing, there's no competition in the leagues, You cannot tell me that you are inviting players from Serbia, Romania to go and win a tournament or to qualify. So it's rather you invite the local players as well. But if you can invite players from Serbia or Romania, what about our local players who are playing in the country, who are doing really, really well? But you cannot tell me the Serbia or Romanian league at all. No. So I think these kind of things have to stop, and where they invite players, because if you have those players playing that country, and you are not inviting players from our local league, then it's not fair. Then. You understand? Because yesterday when we watched the game, it was really, really sad. I think it has been a long time that we've been in the Olympic Games. Me myself, I've been there once in Athens 2004, I think, and it was amazing tournament. And how I wish that we can get there, but we couldn't. But for instance, qualifying to that tournament, it will be amazing for us. But after we qualify to play in this tournament, I don't know what the FA have done, you know, to check on the players, to scout on the players, and see what they are doing, who are playing, who are not playing, everything. I think they're supposed to send the coach to Europe to check the players, what they are doing. Those who are playing regular, those who are doing something with their club. But they did it. They were just sitting down. You cannot tell me that you want to qualify to the Olympic Games by sitting one place and inviting players. I will say this and I will say it again. They're supposed to look. There's a lot of things they're supposed to do. Football don't play like going on the field and just playing. You're supposed to play outside before you get to the field. So for me, I think they are not being fair with this guy, this Afanejan. I'll say it and say it and say it again. They think we qualify so we can go to the Olympic Games without him. No, you need those kind of players. You need him. And nothing has been done towards that. You understand? I don't know if they are egos or telling them not to go to the boy and talk to the boy. No. I always say that, look, for them, for the FA, football is a business for them. But for me, it's my life. So when I'm saying things, I know what I'm saying. I'm saying from the bottom of my heart. You understand? And I've been in Europe. I've seen players that are playing who are not playing. You understand? There's a player in playing Belgium League, Abu Francis, playing for Cercle Brugge. He is playing very well every week. He's playing. They qualified to the playoffs in Belgium League. This boy is a fantastic player. I watch him play when I visit Majid Ashimero in Belgium. And I said, okay, let me go and watch that kid. And I watch him play. I sent a report to them, but nothing has been done towards that boy, you understand? And for me, I don't care, I'll say it. I'll never take anything from any player because God has blessed me. So whatever I'm talking about football, I'm talking from my heart. I'm not saying the right things that are supposed to be done. Because if these boys won, if they win, we all win. That's how I see it.
Derek,
you understand? So for me,
Derek, before you carry on, I beg your pardon. Before you carry on, this phenomenon of, alleged extortion from players and their parents and their representatives before giving them places in our national teams. Have you ever encountered any of that yourself? I mean, you have played at the youth level. You have played, in the Black Stars for years. Did you ever encounter this? And in these years following your retirement from active football, as you're playing the role of a scout, have you encountered this at close range?
Well, this thing has been there for many years now. We all know, not Nana Kwame know. You understand? We all know that this thing has been there for many years now, and it continues being there. You understand? It's about time, we change things. It's about time we put people in charge that look. They don't need to take anything from players, or they don't need to, do the right things. You understand? Because if you can see some of the players they invite, even sometimes you can ask some of the players in the camp. They know some of their colleagues doesn't deserve to be there. I've spoke to a lot of them. So you can see a player playing down, another player sitting on the bench, and he knows that he's better than them, but he's playing. Why? You understand? Because this thing has been there. And for me, being a scout, it's about time, we change all these things. And for me, I know that to change Ghana football, to change a lot of things, all these things have to be stopped. We have to be fair. Players don't have to play in Romania and Serbia, and then you are inviting them to the national team. No, I think it's better you invite the local players who are playing in Ghana, because they are having competition better than the players who are playing in Romania and Serbia. You understand? So for me, it's about time we have to change all these things. We have to be fair. We have to be tough on our decision making. You understand? Look at a coach like Larry Kingston. All the things Larry is doing, he's still assistant coach. All the things he has been learning, UEFA B, UEFA A, everything like going up and down, moving. He's doing well, but still, they haven't given a team to Larry. He's still assistant. You understand? So for me, it's not because he's my friend, I'm saying this, but I've seen his work. I've seen a lot of things that he's doing. We have to be fair. We have to be fair. And I don't know if the FA, I don't know how they approach this tournament. They haven't had preparation. They never prepare for that tournament. Like I'm saying, football has been played outside before you go to the field. And for me, we haven't done enough, to be in the Olympic Games. That's the results, because sometimes they think when you invite the players, then they have to go on the field and perform. No, it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. So for me, I think a lot of things have to be changed. A lot. I don't know what the FA is doing. For me, I don't think they know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing.
Well, these are the thoughts of initial thoughts, I must say, of Derek Boateng, ex-Ghana international, and now head scout of the Right to Dream Academy. Now, I'll take the thoughts of Philip Sicho-Fatrim, after which I'll get the initial thoughts of Nana Jima as well. Sicho, on a weekly basis, you are on this platform discussing these issues that come up. We threw a lot of focus on what happens in Europe because there's a lot of consumption of what's been happening there and elsewhere. Now, it's time to focus on our bit of this whole conversation. Tell me what you took out from this participation in the African Under-23 Championship.
The one thing that any Ghanaian will take out, right, is massive disappointment. And that is largely because it's fair enough if you go into a tournament and you have one bad game, you scrape through a second one, and we see the positives. But from the first game, that even the team won by 3-2, you could tell how poor the team was. Then in the second game, you lose by 5-1. Then in the third game where you need to win to go through, you concede again. So throughout the competition, we've been disappointed. We've never played well. But it doesn't look like the team has any cohesion or whatsoever. And that is why when Derek talks about preparing the team and getting the team ready to play the competition, that resonates with me a lot because it looks like there were a group of strangers on the pitch trying to find a common goal on the battlefield. And that is a problem. It's almost impossible for that to happen at this level because, listen, under 23, it's very close to the national team. So a lot of the players at under 23 level are good enough or should be good enough to be playing way better than we played. And that is why you can't help but take a pause and have a holistic view at football because it's not under 23 in isolation. It is our under 17, our under 20, our national team. It is our football, or to a larger extent, our sport in this country that is not thriving. So when I think that from the competition was very disappointment throughout. Disappointment from start to finish. And this is the thing. If you play a bad game against Morocco, going into the game against Guinea, there wasn't any time between the two games that I thought that we could rescue or we could do better. There wasn't any because there was nothing around the team that looked like we had enough quality in and around the team to change our fortunes. And we went into the game yesterday and all the mistakes we made in the first and second game, we repeated most of them. No clear pattern. As Derek said, body language wasn't great. No telepathy, no cohesion. And in the end, we won't make the Olympics and we have to wait for another 4 years to try again.
Disappointing. Okay, so let's take the thoughts of Nana Jima. Nana, thank you for your time. We've had quite a number of these conversations in recent times. Was there anything positive, at least, that you picked from the disappointment, the whole disappointment of not qualifying and not making it, by extension, not making it to next year's Olympic Games.
Well, thank you very much, Nat. I think the one positive thing I took from this was Yeboah, the player who scored 3 goals in 2 matches. That's the one positive thing I got from that, because basically in the Congo match, he saved the day with those 2 strikes, because we'd brought on Afriabanya was playing, and I don't know how he was selected, because he didn't have any form at all. He's hardly been playing. So I don't know how he was selected in the first place. But as soon as Yeboah came on, there was a glimpse of something, and we managed to win that game 3-2. I think that was the only positive thing that came out of our participation. I think that, I think everyone's got to speak up now, because every time people speak and it's not in line with the current GFA, you are deemed to be a hater. And I'm someone who has spoken up even from Jan Techi's time, when things weren't being good. People were saying, oh, you don't like Kwesi, blah, blah, blah. And people will now say, I don't like Kurt. But actually, me and Kurt go back a very, very, very long way. People don't know. I was even the one who brought Kurt's CV to Kwesi Antechi for the vacant post of the General Secretary at one time, because he just recently graduated from Liverpool University doing some football management or something like that. So I've got no reason to hate him or to hate Jan Techi, but what I will say is, if this is a mark of overachievement, then it's better that we underachieve, because he has claimed he's overachieved. But as the last person has said, this is the same pattern from the under-17s all the way through. And we look at the under-17s girls; they were even banned for overage and age cheating and stuff like that. So nationally, it's been absolutely abysmal, and it's a reflection of what is going on locally. I mean, yeah, there's quite a few people who will come and say something else. They've been paid to say something else, and they get the platform every day to say what it is they wish to say. But the reality on the ground is things are not going well at all. We have a technical director there who's coming from Germany. I saw a post from one of the Goro boys saying that, the men at work and the blueprint and blah, blah is being done. But it's a joke. There's 2 years to do a blueprint, 2 years to ascertain what style of football we play, what pattern do we play, what selection criteria do we use in selecting players. 2 years and thousands of US dollars being paid to the technical director. It's got us absolutely nowhere. Nowhere at all. Nowhere. And, you could see it from this team. I agree. They were strangers. They were strangers on the field of play. And every match started a different 11. I mean, I don't know how it's done like that. I don't know how it works like that at all. There don't seem to be, a core that would start that game and progress. And I didn't even, the coach is a good coach. Don't get me wrong. I rate that coach. I rate him. But this time he's not done a very good job. And he was there before anyway and lost that job. And, there's lots of things to look at. The only coaches that really get paid are the coaches for the senior national team. The other coaches, they don't get paid. We've had people who've been doing under 17s, under 20s, the women's and all that. They don't get paid. You can't run football like that. We jump up and down saying, oh, we've done AstroTurf here, AstroTurf there, and we've learned now that the AstroTurf we're using, it's some outdated AstroTurf that has been there for a long time, and it doesn't even comply with the FIFA standards in terms of the size of the pitch. It's all a joke. We need proper investment in football and we need proper people to run it. This term about football people is a joke. It's an absolute joke. Football people are people who wish to make money as soon as possible with their players. That is what football people means, and I don't think we need football people to run it. Some should be there, but it should be a combination of business people, proper business people who know how to run and manage football, and people who are also good at people management. Because what we have there, it's no good. It's no good now. The truth has got to be told. Absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. They can take us nowhere, but individually they will prosper. They're laughing all the way to the bank. But as a nation, nothing to offer at all. Absolutely nothing.
Well, Nanajiman there. Let's, Derek, let me bring you in at this point. Recently, a couple of months ago, some former national stars had a meeting with the Ghana FA. Now, from what we were told, the meeting was successful in that the conversations that were had were successful. You were there, Derek. You were a part of that. Now, did conversations, major conversations about the developmental arm of our football, which is talent discovery and development and giving of competitive platforms, a topic that was discussed at that meeting? Was it something that you, the national stars, spoke about? Because most of you emerged from there.
I want to know, first of all, I want to know who said the meeting was successful.
Well, according to reportage from the FA, the meeting was successed. But well, you were there, so you tell us. You tell us from your point of view.
For me, they invite us to be there for a project that they are launching. You understand? Not to talk about any problems that are going on in Ghana football. That's how we can solve it. The FA think they knows everything. They think they can solve everything. But I keep on telling them, this job is too big for one person or two people to fix it. You need every person to help you to fix it. So for us, we were there. Of course, we were there. We talk about what the project that they want to launch, and they are inviting us to. But when we went there, I switched the conversation to the problems that is going on. That we keep on talking about that, but nothing has been fixed, or not. It wasn't any successful thing that we talked there that it was fixed. The FA never accept any blame. They never want to accept anything that's going on. They have answers to everything. And I was sitting at the meeting, I said to myself, this is a waste of time. Well, we've been there for like 5 to 6 hours talking. You understand? And for me,
talking about what? Talking about the project. Which project? Was it the GFA school idea? Was it GFA that one that was launched?
They said they are launching GFA school, so they invited us and they want to talk to you about that and blah blah blah. And I don't know what they are going to do with that school, and I don't know what that school is going to bring.
Okay, what was the explanation? Let's get a bit more on this. What was the explanation from where you sit? Because you are an active participant and you are a potential beneficiary of the implementation of the idea of the GFA school. So what from your end, I mean, as you sat there for 6 hours, did you pick up, regarding what the GFA school is about and what it can do for you, the former national stars?
I don't think he can do anything to that. He can do nothing. Whatever they are talking about, I don't think it's going to work out to help our football or anything. But they're talking about having a school, you can come in and do a coaching course, you can come in and do that, you can come in and do management and all these kind of things. But I don't think none of that is going to help our Ghana football. You understand? I think it's close to election, so they want to bring something in for people to know that they are doing great job, they are doing something to help and everything. No, these are all tricks. You understand? These are all tricks, and we cannot buy it. We were there, we sit down, we listen to whatever they are saying. But we came out and I said something that I asked them that why anytime we are coming close to the national team, they see us as a threat. and they don't want to accept that. Well, that's how we
Yeah.
feel, the old players. That's how we feel. You understand? Because anytime, even the interview I had with you, me, Nana, and you the last time, Kurt went to Tony Bafo and was talking to Tony Balfour that after the meeting, I went ahead and granted an interview. And Tony told him that, look, you have Derek number, you can call him. And I said to Tony as well that Ket has my number, he can call me. There's nothing personal here. You know, we're all talking about how to help our game. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Because this football has given us everything, especially football has given me everything I have right now. My wife, my family, my businesses, and I'm still working with football. So when it comes to football, I speak with passion. I have to talk about how I feel. And I say the things that is not going well so that we can fix it. If I don't speak about it, how can we fix it? Or how can we recognize the problems? You understand? So for us being there and the things that everything that we are saying, the FA doesn't want to accept anything. They have answers for everything. And I was sitting down to be honest with you, and I asked myself, what are we doing here? Because if somebody or people doesn't accept their mistakes, how can we work together and fix it? How can we move forward? But they think they know everything, they have answers to everything. So there's nothing to talk about. I mean, I was just sitting down and after my questions, I was just sitting down, I'm just waiting for the time for us to leave and go because I don't think any plans they have or any plans that the project they are talking about is going to help the Ghana football. First of all, they didn't invite none of us when they were doing the thing. They invited
Yeah.
Batilamti, and we were there. We asked them, "You invited Batilamti, you didn't invite us. So what are you talking about?" They said they call Udati. It's not like inviting, but it's about friendship. Blah, blah, blah. I said, "Come on, don't do that." There's nothing that they are doing that is not is wrong. Then when we are talking about it, they want to accept it. You know, it's like they have answers to everything. And for me, if you think that you have access to everything, you never learn anything. You understand? And for me, I think they have to separate a lot of things like football. They have to separate coaches and scouts. You cannot ask coach to go and scout and go and bring players. Because no one is challenging the coaches. Scouts supposed to sit down and challenge the coaches, debate on the players, bring the report in, talk to the coach, what you saw about the player and everything. You understand? But there's no, I don't think we are ready to do this job because look, like I was saying all the time, when I go to the Francophone countries and the rest of the African countries, what they are doing with their football, whenever I come home, I'm scared of our game. Our youth football is collapsed. We have to accept that it's collapsed. And we need to wake up. It's about time we need to wake up. And people have to stop paying attention to the blasters because of that's where bonuses are coming from. That's where salaries are coming from. That's where money is coming from. No, it's about youth football. Look at our under 23. Those players can play blasters. Those players are supposed to play blasters. But look how they played yesterday. It's so sad. How can Morocco beat us 5? Our midfield, our everything, like Nana Kwame said. Nana, the players they look like strangers on the field. They don't know what it means to wear that Ghana jersey. There's nothing, you understand? And I don't blame them, you know, I don't blame them because if you see their backgrounds and you see where they are coming from, you can see they are coming from individual people in the FA, the players. They are coming from individual people at the FA.
Yeah.
The FA owns a lot of players in that national team, the youth national team.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we
Yeah.
are having so much problem. But if they want to scout, if they want to pay attention and go out there and scout and check all our players and bring individuals in, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Because when you check, most of the players there from under 17, 20, 23, the FA, a lot of them own those players. They are their players. You cannot tell me that you are inviting players from Romania and leaving local player in Ghana. Look, inviting players from Serbia, leaving local player in Ghana. Why? And you are not inviting a Belgium player who is playing Belgium league or anything. They know what they are doing, and they think they think they are doing well. They are not doing nothing. Our football is collapsed. Before when we go to the youth tournament, you can see how we perform from the 17, from the 20, and the 23. We are top. We are out there. People see us. They are afraid of us. But now look, nothing. Nothing. Look at the football, the game that they played yesterday. the Guineans were playing the type of game we're supposed to play.
Yeah.
They were keeping the ball. They were moving, moving without the ball, passing each other, keeping the ball. We don't have any one player who can even keep the ball in the midfield for us. So where do you get all these players from? Where did you get them from? So for me, I don't think any of the meeting that we did there, they said it's successful. Nothing is successful.
Derek, did you
I don't know anything about that. I raised the issue as well.
you
That why
gave
they are
them
not
okay?
playing
So
the
you
pitches.
gave them direct feedback over there when they presented the idea that this was not going to work. You said that to the FA
I
leadership.
don't say that. They themselves, they know that it's not going to work. They are doing it for a tricks.
Yeah.
It's time for election. So they want to bring something on board that they are doing so that people will buy on that. But now, whatever they are doing is not working. It's about time we have to pay attention with our youth football. Our youth football, grassroots football, we have to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nothing is going to work. Well, Charlie, look, Ghana, Morocco beat us 5-1. For what? We cannot even win against Madagascar. In our time, I'm not comparing it, but in our time, we are not winning trophies. But whenever we get to the field, you see the passion, you see the game.
It's a
Even we
good
lose the game, but you can see that we played very well. The
Yeah.
crowd is clapping for us. You
Yeah.
understand? Yeah. And you can see all the players where they are playing top leagues in Europe. So there's a competition. But now the national team is so cheap. Everyone can play. You
Well,
understand? So I think it's about time that they have to leave everything they are doing, pay attention on the youth football, the grassroots football. Everything they have to pay attention to it. Well, that's where Right to Dream got Kudus from. That's where they get NS Nuama from. That's where they get Kamadini from. Grassroots
Yeah.
football. They
Yeah.
have to pay attention to it and stop calling these FA players to the national team to come and play. Let me tell you something that happened. When CK was there, CK was the coach. They were telling him the kind of plays he should call. I was in Kumasi at Kwesi Appiah Hotel. I was standing with Kwesi Appiah. We were talking, and Kwesi Appiah get a call, and I can hear from the speaker was loud. So everything CK was calling Kwesi Appiah, complaining to him that these people they were telling him the kind of players he should invite and the kind of players that he should play him. When things didn't go well, they kick him out. You understand? This is what they've been doing. Telling coaches what they do, inviting players without the coach knowledge, telling the coaches the players they should play. So all these things have to stop. All these things have to stop. For me, I know that, look, if we are true to ourselves and we come together that we want to help the country, we all can play a big part in this situation. But it's like the FA see that they know everything. They have answers to everything. Even when Stephen came out and said that football must run by footballers, they got up and they said to him, you need to be educated before you can play football. Or you can be a leader or something like that. But it's something that they've been talking about it at the FA before somebody from there came out and said something like that. You cannot tell me that you just get up and say something like that. No. There's something that they've been talking about it. You understand? Football is our life. Football has given us everything. So when we talk about football, we know what we are saying and we are telling the truth. And things have to change. You understand? Things have to change. Because if you see some of the coaches, like coaches going to scout players, and it's sad, sometimes you are not paying them, you ask them to go and scout and come and coach at the same time. Come on, what are you doing to yourself? I'll tell you something that happened the last time. Me, Odatilante, Yao Prepo, and some of the coaches, we are the McDan, and we are scouting for some tournament. They invited me. I was there, and there's a game that they were playing. There's a kid that playing as a left wing, and they put him at the right way. He's playing fantastic. He's playing very well. But the coaches and the rest of the coaches, I'm the only scout there. They want to see something different about the player. So at the halftime, they were all talking. Then I came in and I said, okay, if you want to see something different about the player, I know what you want to see. You want to see how he can come out with the ball when he's coming from the back on it. So we have to play the player as a left back so that he can have the whole pitch for himself. And we put him on the left back. His first touch, he overlapped, he scored, he came, he make assists, he make some crossings. Then Odati and Yao watch me and say, oh, good job. So it's not like about, coach, scout need to work together, find the problems, find a solution. But you cannot tell the coach to go and scout, to scout. Because whenever coach is scouting, I know what they are looking for. They are looking for performance from the players. A scout is scouting is watching potential and how the player will become in the future on the next 2, 3, 5 years. You understand? So there's a lot of things that we are learning, and we all can play big parts in this competition. But me, if you ask me to come and work with this FA right now, I'll say no. I will not go to the FA and work with them. Because the reason why I won't do that is that, well, I don't trust none of them.
Now, Sicho, you do a lot of these conversations at the office, when you're hanging out after work, on the WhatsApp platforms. What is the feeling about the immediate future of the Black Stars after what we've seen, in all of these platforms on the international level? Is there any glimmer of hope amongst fans that you interact with? Is there a feeling of, something, let's just forget it and focus on other things? What is it? I want you to tell me.
Well, listen, I don't think from the information I gather interacting with people, I don't think people have high hopes in our football anymore. And people have gone on to say that Ghana is not a football country at the moment. And that is the general perception about the Ghanaian populace about our football. And you see, it's not as if we went to the under 23 and it didn't work. So we can say, okay, it's just a bad tournament. It's been the consistency with which we failed in tournament that encapsulates generally our football at its state at the moment. And there is something. About scouts and about coaching. The point then is, quite clearly, the systems and the structures in place for countries that are beating us are way better than the ones we have. I've always said something. When football was all about talent, Ghana was about one of the best on the continent. Since football metamorphosed into business and science, we have been left behind. Because I don't think the Moroccans have massive talents than us. When there is Boateng, Napier, Asamoah ACN, Lai and Co came up. Where were they? Where are their young talents? So when it comes to talent, we've got it. But at the moment in football, and Derek and Elijah would know even better than me, that at the moment in football, it is more scientific and business than anything else. The talent is not enough. And I feel very, very sorry for, our talents who have been playing for our juvenile teams and even our Black Stars, that as talented as they are, as blessed as they are with the pure talent, as a nation, we fail them by not giving them the platform that their peers from other countries have. So a clear example is that when you talk to people as you ask, back on the point, you're like, what's up with Senegal? Because listen, yeah, we know Senegal, but once in a while will produce one big star. But all of a sudden, they are producing stars. And not only across the national team, but every level of the game, including their fan team, which means it has trickled down to their league in itself. What is happening in Morocco? Everybody sound like, what is Morocco doing? Everybody's like, what is Mali doing? What is Guinea doing? Which means that we don't even have to go outside the continent to know that there's a way to do football. On the continent, there are some people who are taking steps to do it. So what are we doing as a nation? What are our methods, right? Because I've always said that the people at the FA, they cannot, this is not about Kereku, this is not about, it's about whoever becomes the FA president. I personally think whoever becomes the FA president and his people, they cannot, as a team of an FA, change the face of Ghana football. It goes way deeper than that, right? Because the point then is, when you look around all these other countries that are improving, governments have been able to take a certain level of power from their airface. It is not by force. It is through a certain level of investment. Because the government has taken the responsibility of providing the framework of grooming young talents, right? Governments are paying to go and train scouts in advanced countries, and then the scouts come back with their knowledge. Governments are paying to train coaches, and most of these coaches are going in as P coaches. And this is the thing. Because governments can't say that, okay, we are taking over the FA, we are training coaches for the FA to use. But what governments are doing is, for their public schools, they are training their PE coaches to be good trainers at the youth level for basketball, for lawn tennis, for football, and several sports that interest the country. So these PE teachers in the schools are teaching these kids the basics. In some countries, not in Europe, even in Africa, in some countries, you cannot train a professional footballer now without schooling and academy football. But here in Ghana, this is the thing. We run a system where if you don't have a football club, it is close to impossible for you to be near the FA or to be the FA itself. Now, that is a staggering conflict of interest, because when I set out to create a football club for myself, the idea is I'm getting talent, they'll play in the league or our leagues, and I'm going to export them. What makes anybody think that when all of a sudden I become an FA president, the principles on which I form the football club is lost on me? It is still the same. The only thing then is, now I have an opportunity of showcasing my players more. The only way we are able to stop this is to, and Nana said, we need to speak up. The only way to stop this, or one of the ways to stop this, is to restructure who can become our FA president. Is to restructure who we call the football people. Because quite clearly, the football people, by no fault of theirs, but by their natural thinking of going into football, are only doing the football in the country to benefit them. Because, listen, if Derek is a scout, if Derek has an opportunity to scout for the GFA, the fact that he scouts with Right to Dream, there is a tendency that he will be inclined to lean towards a lot more of those players. We are lucky enough to produce quality players, so that wouldn't be much of a problem. But what about a scout who is scouting for a group that doesn't produce the best of players? You are inclined to draw in your players. That is the problem. So the foundation of our football is the matter. Those we choose to run our football by the virtue of who they are and the business they run all their lives. The FA gives them the avenue to only make money off it. And that is how it becomes a problem. The more reason why people are not confident that this is a blip. People are actually thinking that while we fall, other countries rise. And if we don't take care, we might be saying this and be laughing. If we don't take care, it's only a matter of time before Ghana plays in the preliminary stages of AFCON qualifies, of World Cup qualifies, because our coefficient rankings, our talent, and everything is not good enough. And other countries are taking their time to build systems that develops the football infrastructure in their country. So generally, people are not confident about the football we run in the country. They are not.
Nana, you have a coaching background. As the situation goes, it's not looking too good for the future, especially for the Black Stars, who will be the ground for absorbing these under-23 players. For you, what kind of path are you hoping they'll start taking, so that at least by the time they get opportunities to play for the Black Stars, they'll be at a higher level mentally, physically, and skill-wise? All right, Nana, can you hear me? Nana, yes. Please go ahead. I think you should unmute. Yes, sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, Nana. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying to you is the Black Star is not the starting point of this conversation. It's the pinnacle. So you've got to go back to where Derek came from. Because I remember interviewing Derek many, many years ago, right? It's probably 20 years ago, because we're in 2000 and we're in 2023 now. Probably before he went to the Olympics. And I can remember interviewing Stephen Appiah, like Kingston and many other players. And I went to their Colts club. That's where I went, to their Colts club. They weren't in the Premier at that time. They weren't, they came from the Colts. And we've ignored the Colts because it doesn't give us that money, that self-gratification financially immediately. So we've abandoned it. And all this talk about a football school and all that, what's happened to our national academy? We're supposed to have a national academy, even regionally, that feeds into the overall national setup. It's supposed to be a pyramid setup. That's what's supposed to be there. For all the Colts clubs, for the national academies, the regional academies, everything feeds into the pinnacle that what you're talking about now. It doesn't exist. There's no point talking about the Black Star. The Black Star is just a money thing. It's just a money thing. Look, there's an issue about, the Premiership is supposed to become autonomous. When do you think that will happen? How will that happen? Who will be the people who will take over the Premier League, making it autonomous so that it can generate its own finances, get its own sponsors and everything, so the league runs as it should be run? Who will do that? How will that be done? No one's talking about that. But these are all part of the development process. It's okay saying, Access Bank are the sponsors of Division 1. But what's happening there? What is really happening there? What is coming from there? The same type of things that were going on before, years ago, still happen. Still happen. Tomorrow we've got, is it Still Believe and some other club playing in the second division? Who does Still Believe belong to? Where's that coming from all of a sudden? I mean, I agree with what Derek is saying 100%. This guy, they talk truth. He's talking some serious truth. And of course, people will go behind him and tell other people that, look at what Derek is saying. Because this guy, they talk the truth to a 100%. 100%. So it's not about the Black Stars. We must take it back to the grassroots level. We run up and down all these little pitches that we're doing. The whole thing is politicized. Even when we talk about government should be involved, it's politicized because they just want to be involved. If Black Star wins, they believe that, it will lead to another term in office and all this kind of stuff. And the same attention that they give to the Black Stars, they don't give to the under-23s. You'll find no minister was in Morocco. You'll find no minister with the under-20s. You'll find no minister with the under-17s or with the women because there's no money there. There's no big per diem there. There's no big 5-star hotel and everything else, all the trappings that goes with it. But there is with the Ghana Black Stars. And that's where they all focus. And, we're crumbling from the top. We're crumbling from the top because there's no foundation there. And, I quote my beloved friend, Christopher Opoku, who told us many, many years ago, you can't start building the house from the roof. You must build it from the foundation. So we need to stop talking about Black Stars. It's not doing nothing for anyone. As Derek said, they can't even beat Madagascar. Can't even beat Madagascar. We're coming home to play some other nondescript country here for the last round, and I won't be surprised if we don't give them a briefcase as well and tell them, look, leave it for us, because we probably can't even beat them. Because the football is not being run properly. I believe what Derek is saying. Look, we've got them going around saying they're doing borehole. I've been to visit the borehole project in Swedru. If they fill that polytank with water, it will collapse the foundation it's been built on. It will sink because none of it's been done correctly. But it's a political gimmick. There's not even any water in there right now. There's no water in there. I've been there. But it's on a borehole project. There's no water in there. Nothing is happening from there. It's all politics. Because people need to ensure they get another term in office and blah, 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 because that's how they make the money. All of this has got to stop. It's not just the football, it's everything. Look at the whole country. I'm surprised you got electricity. I thought we were going to all be disconnected today because we owe so much money to the independent power providers. Yeah, So, but it's true, Derek. It's true. The whole country is 100% mess. People have promised us everything and delivered absolutely nothing. And we sit there as if we don't have brain in our head to say, these people are not good for our nation, they are not good for our country, we must move them aside. It's serious. It starts with us, because we are sitting there watching all of this and saying nothing. Because if we say something, people will point you out as a hater. And perhaps if there's a piece of bread on that table there and it's for you, someone else will snatch it because you're not saying the right things. The whole thing has got to be turned upside down and flushed out completely. Because in the days of Ben Kufi and all that, things weren't going very well. He had a little development plan, which I criticized. I criticized seriously because all I saw was T-shirts. But at the end of the day, it was doing much more than what happened in Kwesi Antechi time and what is happening now in Kurt Okreku's time. It's doing much more. Much more. Ben didn't have the benefit of people running around with their bellies before them saying everything was right, everything's okay, everything's rosy. He didn't have any of that. He didn't have any of that at all. It was down to work. People had to work. And even then, we kicked Ben to the curb. Even then, we kicked Ben to the curb. And it was seen that qualification to the World Cup was the best thing since sliced bread. And we haven't looked back since then. And we've been embarrassed in the World Cup severally. We're being embarrassed in the AFCON on all levels. And female too. We're being embarrassed in every competition apart from those little waffle competitions where it's me, you, and my dog. And I end up being the winner. Those are the only competitions we can win. Apart from that, we can't do anything else in any of the other competitions that are going on. Because we're not doing the right things. There's no comprehensive selection criteria. We pick in accordance with who we can market. There's none of that going on at all levels. Nothing like that going on. What's going to happen with the under-23s now? When will they kick a ball again? There's no program. We've got some technical director there. What's the program now for the under-23s? What are we going to do for the next 4 years? What are we doing with the under-17s, the girls who have been banned for how many years for age cheating? What are we doing with them? Have we assembled any under-17s? Because they should still be there. They should still be playing football. It's development. But what are we doing? Nothing. Nothing is there because there's no competitions to look forward to or nothing. So we don't do anything. That's not football. That's not football. They don't have an idea. I don't care. They do not have an idea. And as for the meeting with the footballers, we all know that was just a PR gimmick. That's all it was, a PR gimmick. Because the professional footballers and the GFA are not singing the same song at all. No way, shape, or form. They're not on the same page. But in order to show, put this face out that everything's okay, everything's this and that, that's why that
My
happens.
brother, you're absolutely right. We are not on the same page with them. All the footballers, we are not on the same page with them. So whatever they are saying that successful or the same page, no, it's not true. I said it. Derek Boateng, I said it. We are not the same page.
Yeah, it's not true.
No, I will not catch you, Nana. I was saying something about the players that individually from the FA, they own most of the players in the national team. Look at what somebody just sent me. I'll read it now. From one of the FA members. The person posted this striker, the guy who scored yesterday, Yeboah or anything, I don't know. He posted only him. He posted only him saying, yes, we are out. We are disappointed, a nation, and I'm so sad, but I'm very proud of you, son. How many players play in that tournament? He posted one player say you are proud of him. What about the rest of them? Because it's your player. You are advertising, you want him to do well, to sell him, to make money.
Yeah.
How many players played? But you trusted one player. Say you are proud of him. And it's not about individual, it's about teamwork. So if the rest of players saw this, how will they feel?
Yeah.
And this person who posted this is on the FE. Is one of them. They don't know, a lot of them there, they don't know football.
Yeah.
We are talking
they
about
don't.
just now. Look how they posted it down. Somebody posted it at the FE. One of the members. You are so proud of one player. What about the rest?
Yeah.
Because they are not your players, but this one is your player. That's where you get you are waiting for your paycheck from.
Derek,
Nana,
wrap up your point, then we'll come to Derek. Yeah.
You guys, Nat, this is how significant it is, and this is how far we've fallen. Nat, you Joy FM has taken it upon itself to put a questionnaire out for everybody who are stakeholders, who are interested, to fill out the questionnaire so that we can see what is wrong, because we're not going to the stadiums anymore. And it's not because we've got access to the EPL or Italia or Serie A or whatever, blah, blah. It's not because of that. It's because when we see the fixtures, we know who's going to win. We can tell who is going to win. We just can't necessarily tell the score, but we know which team is going to win. And we've had enough about it. We don't go there because we know that certain referees are for certain clubs and they're in the camps of certain people. So we don't bother to waste our time going to these. But you guys have taken it on your own initiative to put out a questionnaire. Are you the FA? You're not the FA. This is what the FA should be thinking about doing. Why aren't people coming to the stadium? Let's find out. Let's communicate with the people. How do we communicate with them? But they're not interested in doing that. They're not interested in doing that. All they're thinking about is another term in office. That's all they're thinking about, is another term in office. And that's it. And it's no good. It's not helping us. You can see it for yourself. We can all see it. It's not helping for us. And we come on these programs and we spout off week after week after week, and it makes no difference because the football people are all in cahoots. They all live in each other's pockets. And until we can break that chain and get proper people in there to run the FA, it's going to continue the same way.
Let me come to you, Derek, before I bring Sicho in again. Now, this thing about Morocco, for instance, who are the current host of the ongoing Under-23 AFCON, there's a lot of talk about Morocco. Morocco's done this, they've done it. And of course, Morocco finished in the top 4 of the last FIFA World Cup. Great achievement indeed, and the best by any other African team. Now, you've been there. I mean, you've operated within that zone. So I want you to tell me what it is that everybody keeps saying about Morocco and their developmental arm of football, and how it is a big template that we should all replicate. What is it that they are doing so everybody can understand? Derek?
I'm not from Morocco, one. Hello? No.
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you.
I'm not from Morocco, one. I'm a Ghanaian. I don't know what they are doing in their country that is working for them. But I'm in my country. I know what we can do for our football to move forward. That's what I just said. We have to move and go to the grassroots. You understand? So for me, Morocco can do whatever they are doing and it's helping them. It doesn't mean that we have to do the same thing that will be in their position. No, it's different. We all coming from different backgrounds, but I know that we are not investing enough in our youth football, and it's killing us. You understand? It's really, really killing us. The players that they invite sometimes is, come on. It's like I said earlier on. For me, players from Serbia and all these Romania have to stop coming to the national team. But there's no competition for them. We have to pay attention to our local football as well. You know, some players are there doing really, really well. So for me, like I said, I'm not in Morocco. I don't know what they are doing better and it's working for them, but I know what we can do here so that it can work for us very well. We have to pay attention to the youth football. We have to invest in the youth football. We have to pay more attention, bring people in, people who can do their job, people who are ready to do it. You understand? Who has the passion for it? We have to do it. Because when we like Nana said earlier on, you cannot build a house from the top. You build it from the grass, from the foundation. That's how you build a house. So for me, I think it's about time the FA know. We've been talking about this all the time. If they want to learn something from it, or they want to work, or they want to do something about it. Nana is there. They can call him. I'm there. They can call me. Whoever is there, they can call them. But they think whatever we are saying is rubbish. You know, they think they have the solution to that. You understand? Because I feel like they don't have to take things personal, because this job is so big that one person cannot do it, or two people. You understand? Nana has been in football for a long time now. I know Nana way, way back. You understand?
Yeah, long.
Sometimes even if I'm not playing well, or some of the players we are not playing well, Nana will come on the TV, he will criticize us.
Yeah.
You understand? I will see him on the roster. I will talk. He will come and talk to me. Blah blah blah. You know the reason why I criticize is because you are not playing well in that game. Blah blah blah. It's all love.
Yeah.
But let's say this Effie, after saying this, they will see me and pass. They will not even talk to me. They will not even call me. Like Ket here, my interview, he never even called me. He went to Tony Bafo and spoke to Tony Bafo about me. Everything they take personal. When people are talking about football, they take personal.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, for me, it's really, really sad. If we don't talk about the problems, how can we fix it?
we sure can't fix. We sure can't fix it. Sijo,
Yeah.
what do you want to see done? I mean, if for instance, you had a meeting with the FA leadership, what do you want to see done? I mean, it's as simple as that. What should we do on the practical end of things?
First of
Sijo,
all,
tell them they have to
FA would
be
need
the FA president
The first thing I'll tell them. What did you say?
Derek says he has to be the FA president.
Who has to be the president? You know. Well, first and foremost, I would say that the FA would need to be honest with themselves about our current state, because I get the impression that they are living in a different world. It's almost as if that those of us watching from the outside, we are seeing a different picture from what they see from the inside. And they probably don't realize how terrible we are looking at the moment. Because when you hear them speak, and I've heard great leaders speak about the things they are leading, and when you hear a great leader speak about something that he or she is leading, the honesty about it itself can tell you they can be successful or they will fail. And when you listen to our FA, and only last month or two ago, almost all our respectable people at the FA, those in the ESCO, have all gone on the same line to say that the FA has overachieved. Now, when I heard that, I sat back and I was like, there is no way we will be successful. Because if you're not even honest enough to actually mark the job that they've done themselves, then they don't even realize how bad they've been since being in office. So the first thing I'll tell them is to be honest with the work that they've done, to be honest with the progress or the lack of it of our football. And that is where you can start tackling it. But ultimately, Nat, you have to come down to forgetting about the personal interest and doing the one thing that is painful, which results won't come immediately, but when it arrives, everybody than individuals will enjoy. And that has to go down to what all of us are talking about, the grassroots football, developing it, coming up with a proper framework and a plan, getting as close to government as possible to help you draft policies. Because listen, in this day and age, if you cannot mix education and football, you are lost. So until we are able to be humble enough to sit around the same table with government, to incorporate education and sport at a certain level, at the basic level, we are going nowhere. Because people who say they have academies, people who say they have a football space for young people, how well trained are they? Are they qualified coaches for youth? Are they qualified scouts to scout the right talent? Are they even treating these young talents well? Are they grooming them well? Also, we are able to identify the problems at the very basic level. do all the partnerships and the measures that would allow the talent we have in this country to go through the right process, it is practically impossible for me to see how our game moves to the next stage because other countries are moving and we are at a standstill or retrogressing. The gap keeps widening. And like I said before, it's only a matter of time before we are in the prelims. So I'll tell them, listen, be honest with yourself, get down to the basics, and don't worry about the immediate returns. Don't be selfish. Don't worry about the immediate returns. But put in measures that in the long run will benefit not only individuals, but the country as a whole. Otherwise, we are going nowhere.
Yeah.
Exactly the point, indeed, and that's a track from Buju Banton. Not an easy road. It sure is not an easy road for us at this point in our football, right? Derek Boateng, Nana Jiman, and Philip Sichofachrim contributing to the show there. We'll be activating the phone lines very shortly. But let's now throw the focus on the text messages or the messages that have come in. Olivia Inla says, good afternoon, Nat. Good afternoon, Olivia. When did we start respecting teams so we can be humiliated like that? That I mean, oh, really? How? I can't think far. Where is Ghana football going? This is very sad. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you and your panel, he says. I'm very disappointed in the Black Meteors upon the assurances given us by the coach and the entire team. Is this it? Is that what they could do? Oh, no. I can't believe this. I'm really disappointed in them. I'm sick and tired of everything in this country under this government. Can you kindly, sign when you send the message? Another one says, Citizen Attoh, good show as always. You asked what's the problem with Ghana football. The problem is that we should just admit that we don't have quality enough. As I always say this, instead of our football authorities to sit down and admit that our football is going down, they would rather tell you they have overachieved. So how then do we solve the problem? With these bunch of players we churn out these days, not even under Pep or Jose can they perform any magical. We can't even qualify to under 17, under 20, under 23 competitions. It's very worrying. Godwin and North Kanishi sent this one. There's another one that was sent. It says, Nathaniel Attoh, my name is Dixon and Tema. Ibrahim Tanko is a worried person. Personally, I believe some of the players were imposed on him by his employers from his demeanor. He's unable to control and command the players. Another one is from Abochi Philip in Keta. Our football system is nothing to write home about. Yet MPP government has invested huge amounts of money in common by-election in Asin North. It is not about talent. It's about teamwork. A team that understands themselves. Teams like Niger and Guinea have been playing together as teams for years. That one is not signed as well. Good day, boss. The problem, I believe, is multifaceted, but I want to touch on 2 points. 1, improper planning, and 2, poor player call-up. Nab Mochia sent this one from Takradi. All right, so okay, there's this one from Prosper Domenion in Dakuman. He says, this issue is very simple. Ghana football is dead due to the wrong people managing the game now. The best way forward is to bring key players on board to strategize properly for a 10-year development plan, right from the juvenile to the senior level. If we sincerely and genuinely, with necessary commitment, then you believe me, Ghana football will be renewed with beauty and strength with purpose. Prosper Dominion. Thank you very much, Prosper, for that message. He sends that message from Dakuman here in Accra. So your message is coming in. There's this other one from Emmanuel Zevo in Hohoi. It says the problem. Okay, the shambolic football from these Abonkele players and this clueless technical team is the end product of selfish football republic people. Ghana football is in the intensive care unit. Okay, Emmanuel Zevo sent this one from Hohoi. Okay, let's do some more here. And remember, 055 997. We're not investing enough in the game, especially our playing fields. We can't eat our cake and have it. All these playing fields we had in the 70s in our communities have been encroached upon, leaving the youth no chance to showcase their talents. The current FA head is only added salt to our injury, and he's completely visionless. Okay, this message is coming from Kaswa. Now, Inko Joseph sent this message. He says, very interesting discussion that with some very fantastic points raised. Thank you very much, Inko Joseph, for sending that one. Okay, so more messages to share with you and, of course, our panelists as well. Now, let me just quickly go around the table and just ask about, let's just take the attention from us a bit and ask about who we see, dominating, making it, tops in this tournament based on, what we have seen. Let me begin with you, Derek. Derek, you've seen the teams play at the Under-23 AFCON. Who do you see emerging tops, and who do you see eventually becoming that torchbearer for Africa at the Olympic Games? I mean, Nigeria have done us proud before. Ghana did it in the early 90s, and it's work in progress. Which teams do you see as those who would bear the torch for Africa at the next Olympics from this tournament?
The whole tournament or from our squad?
I'm talking about the from the whole tournament. Group A, Group B.
Yeah, I think Morocco is playing fantastic football. You see the way they played and the way they organize themselves and how they keep the ball and how they move without the ball. Look, I think they are doing something beautiful. You can see as well, Guinea is not doing bad as well, but playing against us, there was a point there they were tired. Our players are not, ready to take advantage of that. But for me, I see Morocco doing very, very well as well. And I'm not surprised the way they are playing from their senior national team and to the 23, But for me, I'll talk about Ghana. That's important in me, The only thing I can talk about is Ghana. I don't want to talk about the rest of the countries, We have to figure out how we can fix our problems, how we can be there, as a nation, and to put Ghana to where he belongs when it comes to football, you understand? And we have to find a way to do that by, coming together and do it, because I think the way things are going all the time when Ghana play and maybe we lost or we are not doing well, even when I'm driving or when I'm outside, people always want to talk to me. People see me, standing me, talking to me about it, and they asking so many questions, you understand? So the things that we have to do for our national team to come back, the youth national team to come back, I think we have to do it. The whole the squad, the whole squad yesterday wasn't. I think they are not in their best performance. You understand? They're playing like they don't know each other. They haven't played together. They haven't trained together for a long time. So I think it's a problem for them. And football is a team sport. It's not individual. So I feel like they have to come back home. Rebuild the whole squad again. To see how far we can go, because we really, really have to be there. We really, really have to be there. You understand? So for me, Nana says something, and Chicho says something as well about like people not going to the stadiums and watch the games, and even the Premier Leagues or sometimes even when Ghana is playing, and when you're talking about it, people say they don't even know that Ghana is playing. So how can we bring all these things back? We have to find a way and do all these things, and by working together, and people at the FA don't want it to work out with us together. So for me, I don't have anything to say, but I'm praying that one day things will change and, we'll be in the right position.
Great stuff there. Let me give you the phone line. I mean, you're accustomed to this already. So it's 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541, and 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. Get through to us and let's hear you on this particular subject. All right, let's come to you, Nana, on the way forward. From where you sit.
Well, the way forward, if I had the opportunity to meet with the president of the FA and the rest of this group, we've got to talk about long-term player development. That's LTPD. And that starts at the grassroots. There must be a football pyramid. And not only is it important for us to have a style and pattern of play for the national teams, but we should have a style and pattern of play that permeates throughout the league. Of course, you can't get it totally that way, but we're looking to integrate those players into national teams. So there must be a fundamental way that we play, and I would suggest that's all about the passing and the movement, and with the ball and the movement off the ball, because these are the very important transitional phases of football. What you do when you have the ball, what you do when you don't have the ball, your positioning when you have the ball, and your positioning when you don't have the ball. I think this is very important. So we have to look at long-term player development. We must stop looking at short-term gains where, the issue is, I'm John Brown, I own a football club, and all I want to do is by any means necessary qualify from Division 2 to Division 1 and from Division 1 to the Premier League so I can get a bit more money, and then market my one player so that I can get that money, buy myself a V8 and a better house in East Legon and flaunt about with the girls and what have you, blah, blah, blah. It's got to be much more than that. The players aren't being paid enough money, to even ply their trade in the first place. They're kept away from family and friends for like 9 months a season, and you can't see what they get. They can't support their family. All these things have to change. We have to bring government in, because I don't know if we have the sports bill yet, but there's certain legislation that can be brought into play that can help, because we can encourage companies to get involved with the football clubs by offering them generous tax incentives. Instead of paying the tax, they're pumping their money into the clubs, helping the clubs to develop, helping the players to develop, helping our football to grow. There's so many different ways that we can do this, but we're just not doing it. We're just not doing it. The focus must be on grassroots. It must be on long-term player development.
Very well.
It's got to be that way. And also infrastructure. It's got to be proper infrastructure. I mean, look, if Kotoko had won the league and qualified for the Champions League, you would hear, the Baba Yara Stadium, it's not up to scratch. CAF says there's things more that has to be done. Every season, there are things that has to be done to that stadium. What is going on? What's going on? So there's got to be proper investment in infrastructure.
Very
So
well.
our stadiums and the places that we say people should play football on are up to scratch. And right now, they're not up to scratch. Look at Secondi. It's ruins. It's in ruins. What type of football philosophy do we have? Where is it? We will
Very
build something for X amount of millions and just leave it discarded. The same with Tamale. So there's got to be a 100% mindset change. There's got to be that change if we're going to move everything forward. And we've got to go back to brass tacks. It's grassroots football, long-term player development, huge investment in infrastructure, proper education of coaches, at a price that coaches can afford. Because can you imagine this? To take your A license costs 12,000 Ghana cedis. But a coach That's probably a year income
Very well.
for many of the coaches.
You have
12,000 Ghana cedis.
Nana,
How can coaches do that? How can they?
You've raised a very critical point. I mean, this is something we'd have to expand on another day. This subject of coaches and their education, because that is also another area that is of great concern to many. So thank you very much, Nana. All the same, let's pick some reactions from the phone line. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. Please go ahead.
Yes, my name is Kweku Olesin, aka Emotional Intelligence from Latabi. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I am following your program. You understand, but you have left one part. The media is also part of our problem, or you don't do?
Yes.
The media is also seriously part of our problem. Because at the end of the day, even the whatever your panelists are complaining about the FE, there are some media men who are seriously in cahoots with this particular FE and are supporting whatever they are doing. The FA president's park, the park where Dreams FC plays, is not better. It's not even good for football. Yet, Black Star management members were paid $100,000 each. But they need less than $50,000 to make that pitch at least football friendly. Yet they are playing over there. You understand? You have some media men supporting. They said it was good. Everything about the FA is good. They have done better. They have provided more holes and women's soccer is going, blah blah everything. And then when Black Star is playing, we get borrowed supporters to the stadium to fill the stadium, and they will tell us that it's the clubs that are not marketing their games well. Are we well? Is there something wrong with that? When Derek was talking about how do you call it, grassroots football, they said they will sit down and later they will go and say that every class should have at least an 17 team, blah blah blah. And you know that some of the media men want some people out of the game.
Yeah.
Look at what you think Kotoko's problem is. What Kotoko's main problem is the media. I said let Kotoko go and bring a player who will take $10,000 a month. A media man was in and say, they will say it. Meanwhile, we want to play work. Who has a player who is taking $74,000 a month and win Champions League?
Very well.
Are we safe?
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts. So 0302216541. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you too.
Please go ahead.
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Teshikam too. I'm so happy for the show today. In fact, I'm so impressed with Derek Martin. He has spoken well. Everything that Derek has spoken today, I'm so happy with it. Ghana here, we don't like people who see the truth. If you see the truth, no, then you will be the enemy. Derek said they sat on the meeting more than 6 hours. There's nothing good. But sitting allowance we will take. Right now, our football is no more happy for we the Ghanaians itself. We are enjoying outside football more than our football. Why? Because politics have spoiled everything in Ghana now. See football that we are playing. First, when we are going to play under 17, under 20 and 23, you see a lot of local players, and they will play. And if Ghana didn't win, you will be so happy.
Thank you very much for the thoughts there. Let's go to our next caller. Do remember it's 0302216541. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Nat.
Hi.
Good afternoon. You have been doing the first one. You have been doing the advice for the Ghana Premier League. And then one person just said it that the media is also part of it. You know, most of us listen to a commentary in Joy FM. Joy FM doesn't do any commentary in Ghana Premier League again.
Please hold on.
Hello.
Thank you for the.
You have a airtime for foreign commentary.
Very well.
You know,
may I quickly ask a question now before we go on? Sorry for cutting in. What we do not encourage is to put out wrong information. What we do on Sundays is to bring you a balance of everything that we have. So on the first half of the show, we bring you updates from the Ghana Premier League. And on the days when we have big fixtures, we bring you full match commentary. Now, our partners, the BBC, bring us live matches, which we do sometimes during the second half of the show. Sometimes we start from halftime. So it is inaccurate for you to suggest that we do not do Ghana Premier League commentary. We have been champions of the Ghana Premier League. The Ghana FA is aware of it. Everybody else is aware of it. So I'll respectfully suggest that whenever you're making these comments, you have to put us out. We're always receptive to feedback, but the information has to be right. We are the first to have put together a show that is solely dedicated to looking ahead to the Ghana Premier League, which is the Joy Sports Ghana Premier League Primer. Nobody was doing that before. We put together a special show for the off-season, getting into the transfer deadline and all of that. We did that for the Ghana Premier League as well. So please, let's be well informed when we're making our comments.
So,
thank you.
You want to be a part of the problem, so you have to do something about that one. Because since you are doing the advert that you want to be a part of me,
respectfully, let's be civil.
Want to be a part of the problem.
Let's be civil here. Let's be civil here.
Please,
I gave you an opportunity
about it again, so that everything.
Well, you heard that for yourselves. We're very receptive to feedback, but we will not allow misinformation. That is incorrect. If I've put anything out that is not accurate, if I've stated, a Ghana Premier League deadline show that we have never done before, please take me up on it. If I've said that we have the Ghana Premier League primer, the Joy Sports GPL primer, and we haven't done it before, then please take me up on it. And if we don't,
I think he's sorry. He's sorry to say that. Why? Forgive him.
Anyway, Derek. Let's go to Sicho for we've cheated Sicho today. Sicho, you know, be anything, Charlie. Don't worry. What you go drink today? What you
don't go back for the guy.
At the back man, because all the guy they talk, be factual. So you have to keep the facts right.
Yeah, Charlie. I bet don't worry, Charlie. Sorry. If you can do this in a record 15 seconds, I'll be grateful.
Sicho, you guys have been doing it. Forgive me.
Sicho, your final comments in 15 seconds. Yeah, your final comments in 15 seconds. Wubeti is setting up his machines now, so.
Right. Yeah. I think Derek has said it all, the Najma has said it all. A lot of the callers, those who texted it. Listen, the problem that we have is glaring. The FA themselves, if they are honest with themselves, they will know what it is. It's now up to them to be selfless and tackle the issues head on. Forget about the top, deal with the basics, deal with the base of the foundation of our football, and then let's be humble enough to know where we are and take on from there. So we should be good if we do that.
Thank you very much, Philip Sichofe Atrim, joining us virtually. So did ex-Ghana international Derek Boateng, who's now the head scout of Right to Dream Academy, and also Nana Ajiman, coach and football analyst. This is how we wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining us. Showbiz A to Z is coming up. And today, the discussion is on taxation in the creative industry. What is right, what is wrong, what we're aware of, what we're not aware of. This show will be a very, very insightful conversation. That mixed with the best music, the best analysis on this subject right there coming up here on the show. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. And also, a happy 40th birthday to Nana Ya Sapong, former channel executive of Joy Prime. Welcome to the club. That's what I can say. Thanks to the whole production team. Thanks to the whole Joy Sports team. God willing, we'll be back next weekend with another Joy Sports link. My name is Nathaniel Attoh, and I have love for sport.
Yeah. Them say oh hills blessing. When them say put a knife fingernails blessing. When them say oh dog be up your blessing. Y'all them say oh baby your boss over your just say come rip come money come while you bowling and you say yeah no I you call blessing. When them say oh hills blessing. When them say put a knife fingernails. The tree says Sophia the natural say Lydia. The shape no who know be bad say Nino or Bagato or Bound say photo. The be a man not to sell up on in the demo or you may pass a blind with oh, yeah, me baby, I say, me bow on me, I said, no, I take to say, Winnie, the ability time to say, Lady Cully, or funky say, oh, yeah, perfect say, I be here, good, said you here, I'm a city here, oh, more, I'm a stop, cemetery, Sarah.
again. Perfect, say my way. A bill never bought it, said. It's a secret. And yo, what you will build that so I you never regret. Come on.
Let's sing. When them say, oh, high hills. Let's sing. When them say, put a nice fingernails. Let's sing. When them say, oh, dog, be up, yeah. Let's sing. Y'all them say, oh, they be a boss. Oh, my God, let's sing. Rip it, come on, Nick. Why you bowling and you say, yeah, no, I call. Let's sing. When them say, oh, high hills. Let's sing. When them say, put a nice fingernails. Like, hoo, hoo, ha, ha. Me say, me poor papa. Then so by the casa, baby artist, Sandra. So sister, to say, nah, Joko, or Baswite, I hope ever hot to say, Coco. Oh my God, oh my God. Big up in the dig up a habaka. Jessica Monica, take it to the dance floor. Oh, no sex in the champagne room. Go slow to set the bride and the groom. Yeah, one you millennium, gonna get one freedom. And to be obey here, just a condom. Condom, gonna my game, I'm a waste on. Based on hand, grab your hand. Who want here, wait your hand. Sit your way and get there. Who didn't the channel when you hold it, boom. Who got on the one with a boom, boom, boom. Me hold on, I'm feeling me, I run on my healing. Ni him say me shana my jiggy, one at the prepare. What can I stress, me feel it. Me jiggy, or get juicy. Praises as it goes, it's a Susie. Puya, can I dare who is who? Who is who? Let's sing. When them say, oh, high hills. Let's sing. When them say, put a nice fingernails. Let's sing. When them say, oh, dog, be up, yeah. Let's sing. Y'all them say, oh, baby, a boss. Oh, my God, let's sing. Rip it, come on, Nick. Why you bowling and you say, yeah, no, I call. Let's sing. When them say, oh, high hills. Let's sing. When them say, put a nice fingernails. Ride upon me car, just upon me car, miss upon me car, lean upon me car. I'm born with the end, yes, I'm in the wire car. So when Jimmy down him, I'm missing funny side. I should upon me car, just upon me car, Jennifer upon me car, lean upon me car. So I'm born with the end, yes, I'm in the wire car. So when Jimmy down him, I'm missing funny side. Them say put a nice fingernails. When them say oh dog be up ya. Y'all them say oh baby a boss. Oh my God, let's say come rip it come on Nick. Why you bowling and you say yeah no I call. When them say oh